Greetings and welcome to the Friday morning Vodkast Podcast. This shirt makes me feel like a superhero. Enough of that. Thanks, Frank. Are you Billy Bumblers ready for the weekend? Have you been working for the weekend? I haven't. I've done work. I haven't really worked for the weekend. I don't think weekends have really meant anything to me in a very long time. I mean, maybe it's only been a few years, a year, 2 years. I don't know. This whole COVID thing really messed me up on the head side. Did I ever tell you about that time where I believed I could beat a bear in Clawed-a-Sword combat? I did. I was young then, and I was swift and agile. I used to be able to walk. You know, we fucked ours all up, but you know the fences, the metal chain link fence, the chain link fence. I used to be able to just walk right across it like nothing. I could probably still do it. I think I could still do it. Actually, I have done it. We have a railing. There must have been at one point, I'm assuming someone handicapped that lived in this house. Shut up. Because we have a ramp that comes down from the street. It's cement. It's actually mortar, from what I'm told. It's colored mortar, which it's destroyed now, but you know, that's because we like to white trash everything up when we move into the neighborhood. Anywho, there's a railing that goes down there. And I think it was like last year. I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I could do that. And without using my hands, I was able to get up on the railing and walk down it. And I was super excited because I guess that still isn't gone. I may not be swift. I may not be able to take on a bear anymore. But I can still walk down a railing and not fall. I think that, you know what the thing is the fear of falling. It's not that you can't do the things you did when you were a kid, but you're afraid of falling the older you get. I used to do things that now would just absolutely terrify me, like to even think of, or even like come close to the edge of something that's even, you know, more than 15 feet up. Like, I don't know what it is, what happens to you at a certain point. I guess it's the fear of falling. The fear of falling is the only thing that really takes control of the situation when you want to, you know, try something out or look over the edge of a building or something. That just, now I get the dizzy spins, you know what I mean? They get up on your head area and they spin you around, and it just makes me sick to my stomach. I like watching for about 30 seconds the Russian daredevils up on the, what do you call it? You run and you jump and you swing around like a crazy guy. Hardcore parkour. That is a whole new sport altogether. I just invented it here. Copywritten. It's probably already out there. You can't copyright anything nowadays. Someone's had an idea for it, everything. What are some of my ideas, you ask? Well, okay, so one of my biggest ideas I had back around 92, 93, 94 was basically radio frequency. Adapters, little stick-on things or key rings that you could use from your computer at the time because there were no smartphones. You could log into your computer onto the network and you'd be able to figure out where you'd left things. Not obviously, I mean, eventually to the scale where in this room is it? But at the time, we were hoping for technology that would at least get you to the location. You'd be like, oh, Bradley's. I was at Bradley's. Why did I say Bradley's? Bradley's hasn't been around for a while. I think it's time for me to stir the Bradley's the beehive again. I don't know if you guys remember. I think I directed you to it. I'm not sure if it's still out there, but if you're part of the group, I live in Taunton, Massachusetts, or something like that. I live in Taunton. I posted a question in there once because I had a debate with a bunch of my friends one night, trying to remember if there was a Bradley's, not only in the old mall, but certainly in the new mall. And I was dead convinced that there wasn't, but there was. It was briefly there. I remember it being more like a Stewart's or like some cheaper store, not cheaper store, you know what I mean? Like a discount, secondhand, clearance blowouts, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Stock Exchange. I can tell you one thing. I don't want to talk about soda.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? What do you want to be? What do you want to be?
Okay, so a quick little update on Let's Get Racist. I know it's been a while since I've talked about it, but there's been nothing to talk about. No one's reached out to me magically. There's been no serious breakthroughs. But they got my DNA again. They got my spit over at Ancestry.com. And so they're starting the process. They said 2 to 4 weeks. But I've got a strong feeling they're going to come back with the same results where they can't get it because they haven't figured out yet. I'm half Fraggle. Yeah, you guys know. They just don't know yet. Being a Fraggle is the best. The best thing about being a Fraggle is dancing your cares away and worrying for another day. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. That's the human half of me that disagrees with the Fraggles. Now, it is fun to dance your cares away. Yes, it is. But there are cares in life that you can't just dance away and you have to deal with, like AIDS or gonorrhea or murder or death. You know, those things happen in the human world. Fraggles, you don't see a lot of Fraggle murders. How many Fraggles got murdered on screen, or at least confirmed on screen? The only thing I can think of is the giants up above. What were they called? There's the Doozers, which are the little guys, the Fraggles, and there's Doc and Sprocket, and then there's the... I'll have to refer to my DVD set. Thanks, Rick. Yeah. So dancing your cares away are great. If it's little cares, if it's like, I don't want to do laundry today, and you do a dance, good for you. You just had the best day. Like, that's awesome. Good, fantastic that you made that choice. Like, because you have that choice every day. Eventually, you have to face the consequences of not doing the laundry for a while, but I'm caught up on laundry, and I still dance around sometimes. I had the shirt on the other day, just this shirt. I thought I was going to look like a big fat turd in it. And I do, but not as fat of a turd as I thought I was going to look like. And a lot of that has to do with avoiding all the sugar. You don't want to eat a lot of sugar, kids, and drink water. Drink water and cut as much sugar out of your diet as humanly possible. I never eat sugar. Like if there's, like candy bar here, this is sat here since we did the review of it. Like, see, I'm trying to express my full dislike for sugar. I do it for you guys, but not on my own. All right, sometimes, just every now and again I do, though. Water's played a huge part in me feeling better, I think, the last, year or so. Taking soda out of the equation, boom, damn. Like, I don't even drink coffee anymore. Like, maybe once a month, twice a month, I'll get a coffee, and it's the worst fucking experience because I don't have a lot of caffeine. I don't know where I get my energy from, but... there's not a lot of caffeine involved there. I'm not getting it from sugar. I'm not getting it from caffeine. It must be just a natural high. Somehow my body is adapted to this point where it's like, hey, you deserve a reward. Here's some energy. Maybe. Logically it makes sense. My body would only want to benefit me as best it could because we are one and the same. Are we a soul? Are we a spirit? Are we energy? Are we a program? Are we a creation? Are we an evolution? What are we? Does it really matter? I don't care anymore. It's not that I don't care. I'd love to know those answers, but you have to spend a lifetime almost seeking those answers. And therein lies the real problem. Like you're trading, one pair of glasses for another pair of glasses. It just so happens in this case that they are sunglasses, but it's mighty bright in here with all these lights. I will say that. Anywho, worries for another day. If you can leave those worries for another day, they're still going to be there the next day. Sometimes it's best to get rid of those worries as soon as possible. I'm sorry, my Fraggle half and my human half sometimes come to blows. And I'd like to say that the Fraggles win all the time, but they don't always win. And that's the real bummer in life, is that the Fraggles can't always win. Because if the Fraggles always won, we would have no laundry and would have overpopulation. Fucking Fraggles. Uncle Traveling Matt had it right. Like, he's like, I just want to see what's around the next corner. I love that. And I've lived my life by that. And then maybe that's my next tattoo, is that quote. And an explorer is someone who just needs to know what's around the next corner or over the next hill. I can't remember what it is, but sometimes I listen to the Moana. Every day I listen to the Moana soundtrack. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so let's talk about Moana and Aladdin for a second. So Corey, my bestest buddy in the whole lands, he and I used to go to see the Disney movies, sometimes with Rob Byrne or Pete Byrne or whoever was around at the time. But we'd go the premiere of whatever the new Disney cartoon was that year. We just enjoyed it. And Aladdin had always been my favorite, like this, because of the music, because of Robin Williams. That is the perfect Disney movie for me. I love that movie. And then I hadn't seen Moana up until about a week or two ago, but Carol always would play the soundtrack in the kitchen. I'd be like, man, I really fucking dig this music. And the song, the rock song, oh my God, I love it. It's hilarious. He's what a guy, huh? Anywho, what was my point? I don't know what my point was, but there's songs in there. And what that movie and the soundtrack, especially the soundtrack, does for me is it makes me feel two polar opposite emotions at the same time. And I'm okay with it. Like, it's like there's a song where it talks about you must find happiness right where you are. And, we've talked about moving and I think we truly could find happiness here. But then there's the voice that's singing inside me saying, you need to explore the world. Take the family and go see the rest of the world. You know what I mean? And so I agree with both things. It's just, the music is touching, and it's the first soundtrack from Disney that really, really stuck with me since Aladdin. Aladdin soundtrack, if you've never just sat down and listened to it over and over again, you should. It's fun, especially if you like the movie. If you didn't like the movie, not the new one, the cartoon, obviously. Robin Williams, man, that's a real bummer. You never know what someone's going through, I guess. I know it's so typical to say, it's so stupid. And, there's few, I was talking recently with somebody, I can't remember who it was, about when certain celebrities die, how that's going to really be a big bummer. I think it might have been Jess. I don't know. And for me, I think there's a few. There's Harrison Ford and Bill Murray are the top of the list. Now, Harrison Ford, I don't really like him as a person. I've never liked him in interviews. I don't think he's funny. He comes across as awkward. I don't dislike him. It's just he's not my type of person. I wouldn't want to sit down. If like somebody was like, hey, do you want to have lunch with Harrison Ford? I'd be like, well, yeah, of course I do. But I mean, if they said, do you want to have lunch with Bill Murray? I'd be like, holy fuck, yes. Can I film it? Sometimes I get off track, but I knew it had something to do with celebrity death. So those are my two. At one point it was Bill Cosby too. Like, and it still will be. I mean, when he dies, I'll be like, holy shit, that's fucked up. Only because the first VHS I ever rented was with my mother at the old Taunton bus terminal, which once was a train station. I think right in that area, Bill Cosby himself. And so like I've stated in previous episodes, I don't know why I've got an obsession with Bill Cosby. He played a big part in my life. The Cosbys, Fat Albert, picture pages. He was always there for me. And then when all this stuff came out, I was like, oh my God, this is soul crushing, but it's still going to be a bummer. Not a bummer when he dies, but it'll be a moment when he dies. Oh, Baby Yoda. Well, I'm going to go watch the next episode of The Bad Batch. Did you guys watch Loki? Do you like Loki? I just caught up on it yesterday. I didn't get to watch it on the premiere night, and I had to stay off the internet, and I did. And the only thing that sucks is when I was on my phone while I was watching it, we had it paused. I think somebody had to pee or something. I was scrolling, and it showed Mobius and Loki. If you haven't seen this, spoiler alert, skip forward like 10 seconds in the hug. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Okay, back to normal, back to regular time. If you guys are loving watching these as much as I'm loving making them, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hit the little bell icon or something like that. Definitely hit like. Please hit like. If you like this video, please hit like. From what I understand, that's what the algorithms are looking for these days. Algorithms. That's one of my favorite words. Algorithms. I should change my name to Algorithms. Oh, I think I got an idea. That gave me an idea. All right. You guys take care of each other out there. Don't forget to make somebody smile today. I'm Jason Oliveira, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode of the Vodkast Podcast. Take care, and boy, howdy.